Great news today. The Arrowhead devs decided that they would give out the second page of the Killzone crossover for free. So now if you have not already bought the premium Killzone first page, you'll have access to the 50% reduction armor, which looks sick, and the Sta-11 Smg and the PLAS 39 accelerator rifle. So after getting all of that free, the only thing that's really missing is the $6 Sta-52 Assault rifle. But in this video, I tested out all the weapons, the assault rifle, the SMG, and the armor to see if they were worth it. I will be doing side-by-side comparisons of the weapons and analyzing their reload speeds, recoil patterns, and effective ranges. So let's go ahead and get started. The Sta-52 Assault Rifle itself feels beefy to play and is in between the Liberator and the Liberator Carbine when it comes to recoil and fire rate. It can be either semi or full auto. It only has iron sights. It has 6 magazines and each has 56 shots, which is a total of 336, which is just below the Liberator's 8 magazines, with each having 45 shots for a total of 360. So about 24 shots less than the Liberator. The fire rate feels good. It's not too fast like the Liberator Carbine, and it does have that slight stagger that feels good when hitting those light targets that are running at you. Now when it comes down to reload speed, this is the reason why I feel like the Sta-52 isn't as good, and it's because of how long it takes to reload. So this is how fast each weapon takes to reload side by side when the mag is not empty. 1.5 seconds for the Liberator, 1.5 seconds for the Carbine, and then 2.5 seconds for the STA Assault. And then you add 1 second more if you empty the mag. I always try to leave that one bullet left in the mag just so that I can get that really fast reload time off, but when I don't, especially with the STA Assault, it's going to be super punishing. It does have a strong recoil when moving, but crouch it is accurate and snaps to the target, but it only has iron sights, making it less effective at range. I feel like it does best against the Terminids, staggering those hunters jumping at you and able to take out the Shriekers in the air. I feel like 50 meters is like as far as you can go when you're attacking a small target with iron sights. Once you go past that, it gets a little rough. Like here, when I was trying to attack a watcher from 70 meters away, the flash of the muzzle was getting in my way because of the iron sights. So I just kept missing. For sure, a skill issue, but it wouldn't have happened with the Liberator. It does not stagger stalkers, but its accuracy up close is good. Good enough to hit them in the face anyway. And just to throw out there, a lot of the times the adult bow spewers with the medium armor are going to be on the nuke missions. And if you want something without the bow spewers or the adult bow spewers, you'll go to something like the nuke nest missions that only have the alphas and the hunters. And then we head to the automatons, and honestly, I feel like against the automatons, precision is key. So if you're going for a Devastator's face and or trying to hit a specific enemy in a bunker, it only takes a few shots to do so. The extra firepower and mag size, but less precision and only iron sights makes it perform better at close to medium ranges, rather than those long ranges that you want to take out a machine gun Devastator from, making it a less likely pick for me anyway, than the regular Liberator. And then lastly, against the Illuminate, the weapon felt great taking on the Voltus hordes because of its increased mag size and close proximity to those enemies, but it didn't feel good against the Overseers. Their mobility and health pool makes it so that you will usually use about 1 mag for each Overseer, like hitting semi-decent shots. I also feel like against Overseers, you want more precision to take out those like skinny ankles or hit their stomachs while they're flying through the air, because those elevated Overseers will start to fly away when they're being targeted. So if you can keep your sights on them, you can knock them out, but with the iron sights, it makes it a little harder. So let's go ahead and wrap up my final thoughts on this $6 item. So the good first, its overall power and magazine size along with the rate of fire are almost a perfect balance of the Liberator and Carbine. Its accuracy is good up till about 30 meters, great at body shotting and keeping away horde type light enemies / like medium enemies. Its recoil is fair and barely makes a difference when in that 30-meter range or while you're crouching. It sounds good. It looks good. The reload sounds beautiful. It looks beautiful. I give it like an 8 out of 10 for fun factor. It shoots a lot, and snaps the targets well. And even though it has a hard time hitting enemies at a distance, it can fare decent against all races. It's just best against the Terminids. Now we go on to the cons, and the cons of the weapon are that the reload speed is really poor at a whopping 3.5 seconds if you shoot too much, and it does not have a scope to hone in on those 40-meter or farther enemies. So do I think it's worth the $6? No, I can't in good conscience say I would pay that much for a weapon that is more fun than practical, mainly used for like one race. I feel like if I had to choose what is the best assault rifle that you would use for the rest of Helldivers 2, I feel like the ultimate goal of the assault rifles is to clear light or medium enemies from a distance with some accuracy, and automatons need precision or like the one-handed weapons that have shields. And then Illuminate right now, overseers are the biggest threat. Either the land ones will rush you if you get too close, which is what you kind of have to do when you have the STA-52, and then the elevated overseers need some precision because of how far they fly away. And if the elevated overseers get too numerous, it just becomes crazy. So I feel like out of the three, the Liberator, the Carbine, or the STA-52, I would choose the Liberator since it targets that goal so precisely. On a side note, I'm happy that we're not paying for overpowered weapons. I am happy that they just put out content and they thought, you know, $6 sounds good. So now on to the other free items that we got. The page 2 of the Killzone war page. We got the Sta-11 Smg along with the PLAS accelerator. I'm going to talk about the Sta-11 Smg alongside the Knights. So the Sta-11 Smg and the Knights are very similar weapons. Their fire rate is very similar. They act very similar. They basically do the same thing. I thought it was kind of weird how the Knight, which has a faster fire rate and a higher recoil that's like not meant to be accurate, has the scope, or not the scope, the sight. And the one that is supposed to be more accurate just has iron sights. Overall, SMGs have never been like the best weapons because all the other weapons kind of outclass them, but they do have the added ability of being one-handed and you can run and gun. So ultimately, I feel like the SMG is a movement weapon. You want to take this when you have like a jump pack and a need to carry an item at the same time, along with it never being like the main weapon of the team, more of a supplementary. When it comes to ammo, they are basically the same. The capacity for the Knight is 50 with 7 mags, and the capacity of the Sta-11 SMG is 48 with 7 mags. And I'm going to put the numbers on the screen now. The reload times are going to be as follows, and that's it. That's the Knight and the STA are basically the same weapon. The SMG, though, that I would take if I had to make a choice to choose one is going to be the MP Knight because of the sight again. So the sight would help me destroy Devastators or take on, hopefully, Overseers and other medium units. Of course, not like Bile Spewers or anything like that, but I would have more potential to take on mediums when I'm already doing well against light units. Now we're pitting the PLAS 39 accelerator rifle against the diligence counter sniper. The diligence counter sniper being like one of the favorites against the automatons. The PLAS has a 3 burst attack that you cannot switch with a 9 ammo capacity. I wish you could change it to 1 tap, but you have to do 3. It is also explosive and medium penetrating. It cannot destroy fabricators or bug holes though. I was really hoping it could take out fabricators. That'd have been so cool. When I first started using the PLAS, I thought it was trash, but it's because I was using it on the wrong. I initially started on the Terminated side, and it does okay against Bile Spewers and like Alpha Commanders, but if you don't take a support weapon like a Stalwart or a Flamethrower, then you're just gonna get overrun by the hordes. 2 things that hold the PLAS back is the explosion radius. It's really small. All 3 shots hit and they basically are sniping. I don't think I'm able to hit more than 1 person unless they're super close together. And the amount of ammo that it has. So it has a capacity of 9 with 8 magazines, and you can fire 3 times each. So that would be a total of 24 shots. Versus like the Diligence Sniper where it has a capacity of 15 and 6 magazines. So it can fire 90 times and it can take out something with 1 shot on the automaton side. Overall though, after comparing both weapons, it started to kind of become more apparent that like the PLAS is a support weapon more than it is a primary. The diligence counter sniper is like your main weapon, like something you build around, and the PLAS I think is a support weapon, something that you help build something else around. So I feel like if you're gonna go into a fight, you're gonna take the PLAS with a stalwart or something along those lines, where the PLAS will help you destroy the harvesters and the overseers, but your other weapon will destroy everything else. Same thing with the automaton side for sure. It could be a main weapon, but I still feel like you're going to need something to cover for its weaknesses since it has so little ammo. In the end, if I had to choose which one I'm going to use, it's going to be the diligence counter sniper, but the PLAS technically didn't have a fair fight. Even though it is a sniper, it is a sniper with a specific purpose. And then next up, we have the $5 medium dutiful armor. And this is the one that reduces 50% of poison, electric, gas, and flame damage, and acid. And all I could think of when I saw this armor was, well, it looks cool, but will it actually save me from getting one shot by a certain attack? So I tried like Napalm Strike. Napalm Strike is explosive. It did not help. I just died. Flames hurt you a lot less, but diving is going to save you already anyway. And then gas you already get out of gas. Like you don't need to do anything about it. So the one that I really was like, well, I need to know is Tesla attacks. A lot of the times someone's gonna have gas, someone's gonna have fire, right? But it's the Tesla arc attacks that I want to know if I'm gonna get one shot by, and if it can stop it, then it could actually be somewhat useful. And we were able to achieve this by getting the vitality modifier with the medium 50% reduction armor. So the arc thrower will not one-shot you if you have the vitality mod on with the 50% medium armor. Sadly though, the arc thrower is not as strong as the Tesla tower. The Tesla tower is way stronger than the arc thrower, and it will always one-shot you. But on that note, the Illuminates also have Tesla towers, and those Tesla towers are not as strong as our Tesla towers. So you can bypass those Tesla towers wearing this armor and make it out. Same thing with the Harvester. The Harvester has a arc thrower attack, and that attack is not as strong as our arc throwers or our Tesla towers. For some reason, our Tesla towers are the strongest. They will one-shot you no matter what, and the only way that you can probably stop that from happening is if you're wearing the 95% reduction of the arc damage armor. But anyway, the too long didn't watch version, the Sta-52 Assault rifle is a good rifle. Overall, though, I don't think it's worth $6 because of its reload time and lack of scope or sight. It is a fun weapon that I believe that the Liberator and Liberator Carbine do better. The SMG that came out was very similar to the MP Knight. They have the same exact like recoil pattern. Their fire rate is extremely quick. They only attack light units, and they are both SMGs, and SMGs kind of fall off later on in the higher difficulties of Helldiving because of all the medium units that are just too beefy for them. The PLAS is a good sniper rifle, mainly against the automatons, and pretty good against the Illuminates. Bad against the Terminids. Overall, though, the PLAS is nowhere near as good as like the Diligence counter sniper, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be more of a support weapon that fills out a loadout more than it is supposed to be on its own. The 50% reduction of the dutiful armor is somewhat lacking. I don't think it's like the best armor, and it's more of just like a kind of a filler armor, but I think it does have a place because of the arc throwing Illuminate along with the Tesla being, or like the Tesla tower being so good against them. And if the arc thrower is going to be used by many friends or many randoms out there throwing down the flame turrets and the arc throwers and everything at once, if you can survive a more than fatal attack from that armor and the vitality mod, then I do think it does have a place. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.